Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about Amazon's Lord of the Rings of Power of the Rings of the Lord series.
The Rings of the Lord.
Power of the Rings of the Lord series coming to Amazon for people who have Amazon. Yeah, lots and lots and lots of complaints. Tons of complaints. God, so much backlash. The biggest complaint, of course, is that dwarven women don't have beards.
Dwarf women are neckbeards confirmed.
Well, they actually are. They actually are.
I know they are.
Yeah, they are.
But that's not the biggest complaint.
No,
that I've heard.
No, the complaint is that the show looks cheap as hell.
So now they're trying to say it's about neckbeards.
Yeah. No, there are a lot of complaints about the show from the early photos released. The elephant in the room. I'm not saying that disparagingly about anybody, but the elephant in the room is that this Middle Earth is much more diverse and inclusive than Tolkien's Middle Earth. In fact, apparently, Screen Rant called it out, according to Fenrir the Ice Wolf on Twitter. I haven't been able to find this article, but this is the side of Middle Earth ignored by Tolkien.
That wrote Middle Earth.
That created Middle Earth based on Europe, yes, based on England.
But he somehow ignored all of this. I want to know how they're going to explain why every group in Middle Earth had diverse people that no longer exist by the time the movies come around. Like it's like there was like a mass, genocide of many groups of people, but only in particular colors.
Yeah, so that is gonna, if this is in actuality the prequel to the Jackson saga, then all of the brown people get gone by the time The Hobbit happens, which is gonna be
in every race, and like every group. Elves, they're all gone.
Yeah.
Dwarves, nope.
Yeah.
Hobbits, nope, long gone.
It's going to be a very uncomfortable conversation. That's okay. We'll just refilm those other two trilogies. The Hobbit, they can totally go ahead and refilm. I don't give a shit. But we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about just how budget cut this show actually looks. And I'm going to tell you the truth. I put this out yesterday. Everybody's like, where's your hot take on Lord of the Rings? I don't care.
That's what I was just sitting here thinking. I was literally just sitting here thinking, like, we haven't talked about this because we don't care. And I didn't know you had posted that, but I'm just like, we don't care. And I don't care. I was just getting ready to say that when you posted this, or you said this.
Yeah, we'll talk about it just to say we talked about it. But the reality is that my interest in The Lord of the Rings as a movie series or TV series ended with The Hobbit.
I'm not going to watch it.
The Hobbit was incredibly boring. They had a fantastic cast. Peter Jackson is known for his extended editions of Lord of the Rings. If there ever was a case for a shortened edition, an abridged edition of The Hobbit, it would be the movies. They should take all three movies, cut out all the fluff, and give us the book. And it would be about a 2.5 hour, 3 hour movie.
Right, but they can't do that. They had that 3-picture deal.
We had to make another trilogy because that's what the whole thing was about. It wasn't like, oh, what's best for the story? What's best for the audience? It was like, let's make a whole nother trilogy based on literally the shortest book.
What do you think this is about? This show is about? Is this make something else with Lord of the Rings? Because now we have the rights to use it and, more. And let's go put it on Amazon.
Yeah.
Amazon?
Yeah, it's Amazon.
I can't remember.
Yeah,
how much I care.
It looks about as good as you would expect a TV series to look compared to a movie series. And finally, we get to see Galadriel without boobage.
Yeah, because why?
Why do we need boobs? Yeah, they couldn't afford.
No, but why do we need to? Why do we need to see more of this?
Because it's a franchise and we have to sell stuff.
Okay, what are they going to sell?
NFTs.
Probably.
Hobbit NFTs.
Probably.
Multiracial Hobbit NFTs.
They're going to have furry feet NFTs.
Furry feet NFTs.
Oh my God. They would make a mint probably because people have foot fetishes and then they're furry and then each foot could be different. You can have the nails painted differently or little foot jewelry.
No.
Yeah. You watch.
No, I don't want to watch that. And
Heard it here first.
Women with beards and
I should make furry feet NFTs. Anyway.
God, no. Anyway, we're going to talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Over 257,000 subs. Thank you so much for the support. We do talk about pop culture. This is apparently a big deal in pop culture. I don't give a shit. I really don't. To me, Tolkien will always be the books. and the Rankin Bass animated Hobbit.
You know, I didn't read the books as a kid. I still haven't read the books. And The Hobbit, I never read the book either. But I do remember the commercials of the Rankin Bass one. And I remember I kind of wanted it, but we weren't going to get it. So I never watched it. Not until I married you did I ever watch it.
I love the Rankin Bass Hobbit. You
love anything Rankin Bass. You can just say, I love the Rankin Bass and cut there.
I love the Rankin Bass. Yes, but I really love the Rankin Bass Hobbit. That was kind of my introduction to the fantasy genre, and then I went all D&D after that. But
you went to the D&D dark side.
I did. So for me, I'm always going to compare, with the Hobbit trilogy. I was like, why couldn't they just make it like the cartoon that was like an hour and it was basically the book? They changed a couple of things, but it worked. Why do we need freaking 9 hours of the Hobbit?
The double D I went to was something completely different when I got older.
Yeah. So anyway, we're gonna talk about this because yes, there's been a lot of discussion about the races being introduced to Middle Earth. Now, this is not a new conversation. This has been coming up a lot. Even the Tolkien Society getting in on it, trying to retcon history. Remember again, Tolkien was an English professor who wrote about Middle Earth as an allegory for England, which I hate to break it to you, is not a very culturally diverse, or was not historically a very culturally diverse place.
No.
But I'm just saying. Just saying. What are you laughing about?
I was thinking, they used to have armor and not have boobs, and then made the double D joke, and I was like, man, if I had to wear that armor, it would be so uncomfortable. If I had to wear the armor that was that flat, they'd be shoved up under my chin, and they'd be sticking out. And we're worried about women with beards, and I'd have women with something that, never mind.
You'd have a flesh beard. Or it would look like your chin is resting.
I'm wearing these little earrings, It would dip down into my suit.
It would look like you were wearing a flesh beard, or you had your chin resting between somebody's ass cheeks.
I'm so sorry. That just popped in my head.
You're precious.
This is why I should stop talking. This is why I should just keep it to myself.
Are they gonna put tits on Gollum? This is way before Gollum.
I'm just saying. I mean, if you were a bigger boobed woman, these outfits would not have been. Okay, anyway,
so the narrative is already, we already knew. Look.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to take that little detour.
That's okay. We knew this was going to happen.
Detour.
Double detour.
Okay, I'm sorry.
2 things we knew. 3 things we knew were going to happen. 2 things that I was going to talk about. 3rd thing being that somehow this whole thing was going to become one giant pervy joke. We knew that this is Amazon current year, so of course you're not going to get an all-white Lord of the Rings.
Well, no, I mean, and honestly, I don't have a problem with it. I just want to know how they're going to explain it.
It is going to be very awkward. Like, where'd all the brown people go? Well,
I mean, you can explain it for one group, but every group had brown people and they're all gone.
It's a plague
that only killed the brown people.
Yeah, I mean,
what the hell are they going to do?
It's going to be a very awkward conversation to have. God. It's going to be a very awkward conversation.
So watch them go back to the movies and film other people that are different races and stick them in there.
Oh my God, it'll be like the special edition.
But it's so they go back and recolor people.
Oh my God, no. No, we're not going to blackface Frodo.
They film them the people in different groups.
It'd be like places. The special editions of Star Wars where they have extra people walking around.
Right, and they just add them in, just to explain it.
Yeah, because it's not going to make a lot of sense.
Because you could be the Tolkien Black.
Kiki, you're awful.
Okay, how many people out there that aren't white think that's funny? I'm sure most of you find that entertaining.
So Galadriel doesn't have tits anymore. She's got armor. We've got elf porn. We've got Tolkien Black.
See, I'm telling you, every group, they're all gone now.
That's where men's faces belong. On his chest.
No, it's too high.
Random Aragorn-looking guy.
So it's basically whatever popular characters in the movie is stand for Legolas, stand in for Aragorn.
Yeah. Hey, it's Liv Tyler. Yeah. So yeah. And they're saying that the biggest backlash is the diverse cast. I'm looking at this and I'm like, I'm getting cosplay photos. I'm not getting cinematic masterpiece here.
He's not liking my jokes. Anyway.
He doesn't like your jokes. He thinks you're offensive. He's being offended for all the black people that you've offended. Because,
I don't think I've offended any of them.
except normally he wears his hair up in a bun. Yeah.
That's right, probably.
Yeah, and he's trying to figure out where he put his hipster glasses. So this is coming from Complex. First look photos and treasure trove of information about Amazon's Lord of the Rings show. The Rings of Power, Amazon Lord of the Rings of Power, the Power of the Lord has arrived. Amid Vanity Fair's sprawling new feature by Joanna Robinson, Anthony Breznikian.
We're going to name every person involved in the photos.
Yeah, the team behind the pricey TV series, where'd all the money go? Has responded to backlash from some fans and trolls.
Oh, so wait.
They have black trolls now?
Wait. Yeah, right. But here's what gets me. I'm sure they probably do.
Gay trolls.
The fan, I like this, from fans and trolls. How do you determine which is which? Because if a fan doesn't like it, but it's something they don't want to hear, does that make them a troll automatically? Because,
The creative team and producers addressed some of the biggest complaints and concerns that a faction of potential viewers has expressed. I have completely checked out and I don't give a shit. These range from more legitimate angles such as the inclusion of hobbits and sexual Wait, what?
They're gonna have gay trolls confirmed. No.
Hobbit sex? This thing has hobbit sex?
Furry feet NFTs, I'm telling you. No, it says hobbits and sexual consent.
Wow, there and back again. And again. And again. And again. And again.
Only with consent.
Only with consent.
To the racist response to more diverse cast. That's not the response. People are like, it's not about racism. People are like, how the hell are you going to explain this? Because the only way it goes from that to what we got in the movies is there's like massive wiping out of certain people, but only of certain colors.
Yeah. I mean, we had this conversation before. I remember when Star Trek Voyager came out and Tuvok, they're like, wait, there's black Vulcans, but that made more sense, I think, than again, showing the future,
right? Yeah,
in which there are no people of color, and we're also based on a book series that is literally based on England in the Middle Ages. So, whatever.
How dare you use logic?
The series creators have no qualms about diversifying the world of Middle Earth. Of course not, because they probably have mandates from Amazon.
Mandates, 100%.
It felt only natural to us that an adaptation of Tolkien's work would reflect what the world actually looks like.
Now, reflect what the world actually looks like now.
This is the prequel, a prequel to 6 films that feature very few, if any, people of color. It is going to be awkward.
I stand by.
Unless this is another timeline. This is the
alternate universe.
The alternate universe. Tolkien's for everyone. Now, his stories are about his fictional races doing their best work when they leave the isolation of their own cultures and come together. Well, yes.
Except for all the ones that are dead now.
Scholar Mariana Rios Maldonado told Vanity Fair, obviously, there's going to be some push and backlash, but the question is from whom? Who are these people that feel so threatened or disgusted by the idea that an elf is black or Latino?
That's not what's going on. That's not what's going on at all. They're just like, it's like Middle Earth in a fantasy realm that was based on Middle Ages England, which you weren't going to find a lot of diversity, for one. 2, people are pointing out the obvious, which is by the time you get to the damn movies, they aren't there.
So this is the dwarf queen. I guess she's got gold fingers.
Okay.
Because she's counting her gold. Yeah, I remember the controversy when they had the dwarven party and Thorin Oakenshield, and they're like, why are all the dwarves hot? Like, they have hot dwarves. When did this happen? And now I'm like, current year, they'd be like, why are the dwarves not played by actual dwarf actors?
That's a good point. Where are they?
Even Gimli, we had a regular-sized actor playing Gimli, and they just used optical tricks to play. Why are all the hobbits not?
Well, are they being played by dwarf actors in the show?
She does not look like a dwarf.
Because my question is, if they aren't, then all the diversity and inclusion you're yelling about, you didn't actually go and be diverse and inclusive. I mean, unless you have them played by those people. But if you aren't, then you don't get to talk about diversity and inclusion and shit on everyone else when you yourself weren't diverse and inclusive in that regard.
There will be hobbits, sort of, even though Tolkien's books stressed that hobbits did not factor in the history of Middle-earth. Much until Bilbo and Frodo Baggins and their companions came into the picture. That's true. It was actually mostly a human dwarf elf world. The hobbits were like the younger race that showed up. And they were supposed to be more like a stand-in for like modern Britain. I am no Tolkien scholar, but as I understand it, we had like the older races, and then the hobbits were supposed to be the more modern, modern folks. The potential sexual content. Sexual content. And the show has also been a question mark since Amazon was reported to have hired an intimacy coordinator. I don't want to see the hobbits fucking. I don't want to see dwarves and elves getting it on.
Well, you're going to see dwarves and elves. I don't think you're going to see hobbits. They just said that you weren't going to see a lot of hobbits.
They're running away. They're scared.
They literally went and hired an intimacy coordinator. Oh my God.
Well, it's probably make sure nobody gets Me Too'd. McKay said nobody needs to worry about them Game of Thrones-ifying Tolkien's world. In that sense. No, but the costumes certainly
they're going to find other ways to ruin it. Don't worry.
They aim to make a show for everyone, for kids who are 11, 12, and 13, even though sometimes they might have to pull the blanket up over their eyes if it's a little too scary.
I mean, the truth be told, I honestly don't care if they put diversity in the show. I really don't. I mean, that's fine by me. I'm just trying to figure out how they're going to explain.
They won't.
Actually,
won't.
It just makes it worse somehow. I think it just makes it worse.
There were a lot of inconsistencies with the Hobbit trilogy versus the Lord of the Rings, and they just don't explain it. Whatever.
I just think it's funny.
Whatever. So let's talk about the biggest issue. The biggest issue is that female dwarves need beards.
Well, they're supposed to have beards. They mentioned that.
Yeah. They need to have beards, like the bearded lady from The Greatest Showman. They also need to sing.
No, they aren't singing.
Dwarves like to sing. They like to sing when they eat. They like to sing.
They might sing when they're drunk.
Sing when they're drunk. Sing while they break Bilbo's dishes for 3.5 hours.
Oh, dishes. I thought you were going to go somewhere completely different with that. Anyway.
Break Bilbo's.
You started with the D word, and of course.
Oh my God, that's gonna be the next series. Lord of the Rings, the breaking of Bilbo Baggins.
They broke back Bilbo.
Broke back Bilbo. The power of the rings of the power of the Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings fans demand
what kind of ring is that? Anyway, that's a different kind of ring.
Lord of the Rings fans demand female dwarves with beards. Can't believe they gave short hair only to male elves and no beards to female dwarves. You're so weak. Well, another was more measured. I'm really looking forward to seeing more of this character and other dwarves as well. I'd like to see more of the beard, though. Where's the beard?
Wait, it's more measured because... Wait. Come back to those comments. Come back up. That's more measured, though, because you're saying, I really look forward to seeing these characters.
So that
makes it more measured.
That's how you do it. Like, yeah, I love it when people are... And I've seen this on the internet so many times because people don't want to be canceled, right? Especially on Twitter, especially if they're going to tweet. They look at something, they absolutely fucking hate it, but they don't want to be a racist. So they're like, oh my God, I hate this. Where's her beard?
No, but I'm saying the one comment is okay, but the other one's more measured because it went on about, I'm looking forward. Okay, here you go.
She looks amazing.
You want a more measured comment? Wow, I like her hair. She looks really cool. I can't wait to see what you do with this shit show of cheap assness that you're putting out there. That's a more measured comment because I gave a compliment first.
One response in particular. Give the female dwarves beards, you fucking cowards.
Well, you know what? When you're going about diversity and inclusion, there are women out there that, have facial hair. And it actually happens. And you know what? So if you were truly diverse and inclusive... that's just being diverse and inclusive and fair. But I think she does have hair underneath. That's why I said she's a neckbeard.
Yeah, she's a neckbeard. Yes, we have a spattering of hair. Justice for dwarves, # bring back the beard. Yes, so that is the biggest outrage. That is the biggest complaint that Tolkien fans have is that the dwarves don't have beards.
Well, it depends who you ask. There are people who are saying this because they're racist.
Yeah. So we gotta wrap this up.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a garbage show. I'm not even gonna mince words. I think it's gonna be terrible. I think it's gonna be absolutely terrible. And I don't really give a shit. But whatever. We talked about it. There you go.
There you go.
All right. So please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.